Hey everyone, we've been diving into this whole crypto race situation, right? And honestly, the real action is happening with stablecoins. Now, I know what you're thinking. Stablecoins again? Really? Yeah, I get it. A lot of folks zone out the second we mention stablecoins because, let's face it, they sound kind of boring. But here's the thing, and I mean this. Stablecoins might actually be the most important thing happening in crypto right now. Like, seriously, the biggest opportunity we should all be paying attention to in this entire space. We're trying to take the crypto market cap from, let's say, $4 trillion. And yeah, I know we're not parked at $4 trillion anymore, but just hear me out. We're talking about launching it to $40 trillion. Wild, right? Well, here's the secret sauce. Stablecoins need to absolutely dominate a huge chunk of the global financial system. And this is where it gets juicy. As stablecoin demand goes crazy and these things balloon up, what we're really tracking is the squeeze. Like, how much heat, how much pure pressure does that slap onto all these massive institutions until they're like, okay, we have to adapt now. And boom, that shift, it's literally happening as we speak. 2025 has been absolutely wild. We're literally watching the biggest names in banking. I'm talking JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citi, all these massive institutions suddenly going, hey, wait a minute, we want in on this. They're all rushing to launch their own stablecoins now. And why? Because they've been sitting there watching this market explode, seeing all this insane growth, all this money flowing through, and they're like, yeah, we definitely need our piece of that action. This thing's spreading like wildfire across the globe now. European banks just said, hold my espresso, and dove headfirst into their own stablecoin playground. Picture this. 9 major banks, we're talking Unicredit, ING, SEB, the whole crew, just teamed up like the Avengers and announced their euro-backed stablecoin. It's happening. The launch is dropping next year. And honestly, it's part of this massive wave where the region's basically saying, hey, we want control over our own digital payments, especially with the US dominating everything right now. Now, here's the wild part. Citi's predicting global stablecoin volumes will explode to $1.9 trillion by 2030. Like, think about what that actually means. We're literally watching stablecoins transform into this gigantic cornerstone of global finance. This isn't some crypto side project anymore, folks. We're talking about flipping the entire system on its head. Listen, stablecoins being woven into the global financial system, that's not some future possibility anymore. It's literally happening right now. We're past the speculation phase. Like, this is real. Stablecoins are already embedded in the global financial system as we speak. And want to know who's driving this whole thing? Big banks. Yeah, the big banks. The big banks are piling in. No joke. So here's what's wild. This whole announcement is dropping right when Europe's practically screaming, we need our own digital payment game. Because let's be real, the US is crushing it right now, especially with Trump's crew cheering them on. Meanwhile, the European Central Bank is cooking up a digital euro as we speak. And the UK Treasury, they just said, screw it, we're rushing stablecoin laws through before New Year's Eve. Like, can you feel it? The stablecoin war is officially on fire, and we've got front row seats. Okay, so this is wild. September 17th, the World Economic Forum drops this bombshell about the US Genius Act and the EU's MECA, showing transatlantic convergence on crypto rules. Translation, America and Europe are finally shaking hands in saying, let's get aligned on these laws and regulations. And guys, you know I've been screaming about this forever on the channel. We desperately need this harmonization approach. Like, this convergence isn't optional anymore because, let's be real, we cannot keep juggling different regulations for every single nation. Look, here's what we desperately need right now. This huge convergence moment where everyone's vibing with that harmonized approach, and we'd actually see the entire planet getting aligned on crypto and its regulations. Now, here's where it gets absolutely wild. We literally just saw the US and UK join forces and create this task force to sync up on crypto and capital markets. We literally just discussed this because, come on, who was the absolute powerhouse driving this entire movement forward? Casey Kravitz from Ripple, right? Yeah, An actual Ripple employee was heavily involved in this task force. I mean, how wild is that? But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the EU for a second. Here's what's happening. The US and UK just teamed up on a task force. Meanwhile, the US and EU, they're actually starting to align on crypto regulations. And then boom, September 26th, the EU drops this post about preparing for the future of payments and money, focusing on research and innovation. So this comes from someone on the ECB's executive board, and they presented it at a conference called The Future of Payments, CBDC, Digital Assets, and Digital Capital Markets. Here's what they said. In this age of crazy fast change, digitalization is literally reshaping the entire landscape of finance and payments. And look, we need to make absolutely sure this transformation actually brings real innovations. Stuff that genuinely makes people's lives better and our economies more efficient, all while keeping financial stability intact. Having dialogue between research and policy, they're saying it's not just a nice little extra, it's straight up critical. So now we're watching central banks all over the globe finally make their move and admit to us, all right, you know what? We're busting our butts to make DLT transaction settlements happen in central bank money by next year. Yeah, you heard me correctly. This whole thing's tied to a digital euro because, let's be real, they've just realized they're getting left in the dust. This rapid transformation can't wait another second. It's time to buckle down. We've got to fast track this because sitting on our hands, that ship has sailed, my friends. Now, let's get into it. I'm going to show you the real way research has been fueling these modernization efforts. 3 big things are coming your way. And yeah, retail payments take center stage here. I've already spilled the beans on our wholesale payments innovation vision elsewhere. I'm showing you how research acts like our compass when technology keeps shifting under our feet, revealing that central bank money's always been this living thing, constantly bringing innovation to the table while keeping stability locked down tight. Then, we're jumping into how research opens our eyes to digitalization doing way more than tweaking things. It's literally flipping the script on public versus private money and rewiring the entire backbone of retail payment markets. And finally, I'm getting into how research becomes our crystal ball, helping us spot dangers before they hit and jump on golden opportunities while we're out here crafting tomorrow's version of central bank money. This is exactly what we've been hammering on about. We're basically watching stablecoins turn everything on its head in real time. And the mind-blowing thing? Ripple's been riding this wave since the absolute starting line. Now peep this gem from Christine Lagarde herself. Total pleasure hosting Paul Atkins, who runs the US SEC, right there at the ECB. Why should you care? Simple. We're watching this epic alignment unfold, connecting dots from the US to the UK straight into the EU's backyard. Caroline D. Pym literally just popped up at this conference. And guys, the vibe was insane. We're talking about the golden age of America vibes. The US is basically drawing up the entire roadmap for crypto regulation as we speak. And you know who's getting all the spotlight? Ripple. Yeah, they're being called out as one of the heavy hitters here. This event, the name itself is massive. Navigating global crypto regulation and practice institutional readiness in a fragmented world. Like we are witnessing everyone prepare for the big moment. The big moment where we have full regulations for crypto. Look at the names here. We have the US CFTC, Missin Labs, Ripple with the global co-head of policy, and we also have Coinbase with the head of APAC policy. Again, Ripple is in the middle of every single discussion, and talking about this, going back to this image, we know that Ripple has met with Caroline D. Pym on multiple occasions. We also know that Christine Lagarde was at that private meeting with Ripple back in like 2016, 2017. The SEC is taking center stage because guess what? The SEC and CFTC are literally teaming up now to create this unified game plan for crypto regulations. They dropped this bomb on September 5th, then boom, this roundtable hits on the 29th, which is basically right now. But wait, it gets even crazier. Christine Lagarde actually knows about Ripple. Look at this from XRP right here. Ripple is locked and loaded, folks. Listen to this.
Digital currency is what I'm referring to. I tell you, what we are seeing, and it changes so fast in a matter of 1 year. You know, the crypto assets at large have lost about 85% of their value in a matter of 1 year. What we are seeing at the moment is what Carlos was referring to, which is, development into new technologies that will actually change the way in which intermediation is conducted, eliminate some of the barriers, including the unconscious biases that exists out there. And I think in the banking system at large, in many countries, the difference will not be between those who are disrupted and those who survive, but it will be between those who are cannibalized because they are not seeing it coming and they're not embracing it, and those who self-induce that cannibalization. And I'm using cannibalization on purpose because it's a bit of a striking, horrible word, but it's really what it means. It's you're going to disrupt your business model, you're going to change it, you're going to reduce your costs, you're going to expedite your transactions, and you're going to continue to inspire confidence because you will build that on the basis of an existing backbone, which is your bank and the confidence relationship that you've established with your customers. So that's where I see changes happening now. If you think of Circle and Ripples and all those, that's where they are active and helpful.
So when Circle and Ripple pop into your head, right, think about these major players and what's going down with the ECB right now. They're literally spelling it out for us. They're basically screaming that we're watching a brand new financial system being born, and it's all built on stablecoins and DLT. Now, this is exactly what Ripple's been laser focused on from day one. Ripple's entire mission? The Internet of Value, which is literally this new financial system we're talking about. But what's absolutely insane here is when some of these announcements dropped. Which ones am I even talking about? Check this. March 5th, 2025. They're expanding digital asset adoption throughout the entire EU. Literally pulled this from Ripple's website. Revolutionizing cross-border payments connecting Portugal and Brazil. Retry Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. So Ripple just teamed up with Unicambio. Pretty exciting stuff. This is actually Ripple's first move in Portugal, and it's all about making cross-border payments way more modern. But here's the thing. This is just another big win showing how Ripple's absolutely crushing it in Europe right now, especially since the region's really taking advantage of MiCA rolling out and digital asset services are becoming more and more mainstream. Okay, so this was just one piece of the puzzle, because when you look at everything else happening, it's actually insane. Like, this is seriously just the tip of the iceberg with Ripple's European takeover. Ripple Custody's been making power moves left and right, linking arms with massive European banks. We're talking DZ Bank, BBVA, and Société Générale's throwing their brand new stablecoin onto the XRP ledger. And yes, for those in the back who didn't hear, Société Générale is legitimately still launching EURV on the XRP ledger. Oh, and don't sleep on Schumann Financial's EURLP either. That's another first ever MiCA-compliant Euro stablecoin that jumped onto the XRP ledger, dropped on May 22nd. But let me take you back over here for a second, because we've got some exciting announcements happening with Ripple in Europe, right? And here's the thing. Europe has always been their playground. They've been laser focused on this market from day one. And what blows my mind about all this? The timing. Ripple's readiness for this moment. It's almost too perfect, guys. Like, seriously, it's almost too perfect. And honestly, whenever I see stuff like this, I can't help but think, this isn't just luck, Like, look at what's happening with the UK and EU. It's wild. The UK is literally building this task force. And who's in the room? Ripple. Casey Craddock from Ripple was actually sitting at that roundtable where they basically birthed this task force. But wait, it gets juicier. The EU's literally copying homework with the US on crypto rules. And they're going absolutely bonkers over stablecoins. Remember that bombshell from June 5th, 2024? Ripple joins forces with Clear Junction for UK and EU cross-border payments. Now take a wild guess. Who's pulling strings here? Yep, our friend Casey Craddock again. It blows my mind how everything's just lining up perfectly around Ripple. Look, I get it. We probably sound insane right now. Whenever someone's hyping XRP or they're really into Ripple, people think they've lost it. They're like, oh, sure, everything was masterminded from the start. Everything's connected, blah, blah, blah. But here's what I'm actually getting at, though. Look, call us absolutely bonkers if you want. Tell us we're straight up delusional for thinking this is all connected, that Ripple's somehow pulling strings behind the scenes. But just humor me for a second, yeah? Let's use our brains here. Flashback to summer 2023. Judge Torres drops the hammer. XRP, not a security, folks. Fast forward 30 days, and guess what? Ripple's suddenly chilling with the BIS on their cross-border payments task force. Wild, right? Now stick with me here. Timing matters when we're connecting these dots. That moment was everything. The domino that started falling after XRP got its golden ticket. And boom, nobody's really grilling Ripple anymore. But wait, let's jump back to December 2022, literally just months earlier. And who do you think shows up at Ripple's headquarters? You guessed it, Caroline DePam from the CFTC herself. All right, now let's zoom ahead to December 2022. Ripple's literally giving feedback on the FSB's global harmonized regulatory frameworks for crypto. And while they're knee-deep in a massive lawsuit, want to know who's sitting on the FSB's board of directors? Gary freaking Gensler. I mean, seriously, people, annoyed. This is precisely why I keep hammering on about these dots connecting. So when you start piecing together all these announcements on our timeline here, you can't tell me it's just random chance that the EU's suddenly hitting the gas pedal hard on digital asset adoption and cranking up the volume on these discussions too. And now they're practically sprinting to back stablecoins like their lives depend on it. EU banks are literally launching a stablecoin as we speak. This whole thing feels suspiciously flawless, like way too seamless for anyone to casually dismiss it as, oh look, another happy accident. Ripple's just some average crypto startup minding its business? Please. They're not background extras here. They're front and center in this entire production. They're actively engineering the backbone of this brand new financial infrastructure we're witnessing. This has always been their playbook. They're the original minds who dropped the whole Internet of Value concept on us. And ever since they planted that seed, we've been sprinting full speed toward turning that dream into our actual reality. All right, fam, that wraps up today's deep dive. Hope this one got your gears turning. If it did, go ahead and crush that like button, smash subscribe, and flip those notifications on because I'm constantly dropping fresh, free content for you. Thanks for rolling with me today. See you in the next one.